Elbphilharmonic Concert Hall in Hamburg is finally finished, at least in miniature. The walls open to reveal a stage and auditorium with tiny musicians made of plastic. The real, life-sized members of the orchestra are playing along at the opening, while they wait for the real concert hall to be finished. More than 300 guests were invited to the celebration.
The acoustics were fantastic. It was a real pleasure, and the musicians were really motivated. The crowd was thrilled.
People in Hamburg are also pleased they have at least one Elbphilharmonie.
Sure, it's satirical, especially in reference to the Elbphilharmonie. Of course, you can joke about it.
The miniature version was conceived by Frederik and Gerrit Braun. The twins set new standards in model making.
We love having fun. In fact, we do everything for fun. There's nothing better to poke fun at, with funny stories, witty stories, than this building here.
Because even though the mini model is ready, the real one has been a construction site for 6 years. As it's fallen behind schedule, the project's costs have exploded, increasing tenfold, with the German taxpayer picking up the tab.
I always wonder how it can be that they're so far off with their estimates.
They should have called a halt at some point, sooner in any case.
But the mini Elbphilharmonie isn't costing the taxpayers a cent. Still at $350,000, it was 3 times more expensive than planned. And the model makers had to make every single part themselves.
We had real problems with the mechanism for opening it. It weighs so much and always had to be running. The windows were a ton of trouble. We made all 2,500 of them by hand, then painted them to get a shimmer that makes it look real. By the time we finished with that, it took us 1,000 hours just to do the panes of glass.
Right up to the evening of the opening, Gerrit was busy solving technical problems.
A cable snapped. That caused an electrical short circuit, and we were off schedule. We're trying to repair it and hope too much hasn't gone wrong.
The big moment of suspense came when the concert hall was supposed to open itself automatically. More than 30 people spent 10,000 hours making the tiny building. Kenneth Mundell programmed the special effects.
I needed to make the lights go on and off at very specific times. And that had to be coordinated with the orchestra moving inside the Elbphilharmonie. Getting the programs to run cleanly took hours and sometimes days.
The workers controlled the Wonderworld from this room. It's the largest model train set in the world. It's even in the Guinness Book of World Records. But there are more than model trains here. There's an interactive exhibition replicating reality in a deceptively convincing way.
If you stand in one place for 5 minutes, you'll see something new every 5 seconds.
You turn into a kid again, for sure.
We see a lot of video on YouTube, and so for us it's a dream to be here.
Frederik and Gerrit Braun's Wunderland is a childhood dream come true. They used to run a disco, but then on a trip to Switzerland, Frederik Braun got an idea.
I went into a small model train shop and it reminded me of my childhood. The idea came to me in 2 minutes. In 5, I was on the phone to Gerrit in Hamburg and said, let's sell the disco and build the world's biggest model railway.
At first, his brother Gerrit, the more practical of the twins, wondered about Frederik's sanity.
It sounds like fun, a great toy or gift idea, but you've got to make a living.
But make a living they have. Since they opened 13 years ago, more than 10 million visitors have come and paid to enter the miniature Wonderland, which now has a new attraction, the little Elbe Philharmonie.